My name is Ondrej, and here is how to build anything with OpenAI Swarm. This is a new AI agent framework from OpenAI. And by releasing it, they are telling us that they believe AI agents are the future. So if you are not building AI agents now, treat this as your wake-up call. So here's my promise. If you watch until the end, you'll know exactly how to future-proof yourself with the power of AI agents. So here's the difference between one agent and a team of agents. Having multiple AI agents allows you to specialize each of them for a single task. This lets you achieve far more than you can do with just ChatGPT. For example, each agent can have a different API call to visit a website, to edit a file, to call a prospect, to email a client, anything you can imagine. But in general, it is better to start with one AI agent. Do not add complexity unless it's necessary. Now you might be thinking, but David, how can I actually benefit from this? Well, here are a few practical ways. Agents can save you time, find more leads, do your research, respond to customers, automate repetitive tasks, brainstorm ideas, write your copy, and so much more. In 18 months, and I'm certain of this, every single company and individual will have teams of AI agents working for them. That's why you need to get in now. Real quick, if you want to build a business with AI agents, then make sure to join the new society. Inside, I'll teach you step by step how to build your first AI agent and how to make money with it. You can do this with zero coding experience in just 30 minutes a day. It's the first link in the description. Now, what even is an AI agent framework? Simply put, a framework makes building AI agents easier and faster. With OpenAI Swarm specifically, you can have AI agents delegate tasks to one another. So let's say one AI agent is more suited for a task, you can have that linked as a function in the Swarm. But you'll see what I mean in a moment. Now, it's built on top of OpenAI Chat Completions API, which is basically their standard API for GPT-4, O1, and all the other models, so you will find the syntax super familiar and easy to follow. Now here is why you need to be like Napoleon. This is one of my all-time favorite quotes. I engage and then I figure out what to do. Napoleon Bonaparte. You, the people watching this, you are smart. Your problem isn't not knowing what to do or not knowing how to code. Your problem is lack of action. So stop overthinking, stop over-preparing, stop over-researching, and just get started. So now, let's get to building. This is the main GitHub repo from OpenAI about the Swarm system. It is still in early access, but look at the syntax. Isn't it beautiful? Anybody can follow the syntax. You don't have to be a programmer to understand this, right? Like, you define an agent, you give it a name, you give it instructions, and you give it functions. Like, super simple, guys. So I'll show you how to implement this. And yeah, I'm gonna link this below the video as well. Let me open up Cursor. Actually, this is the code for my new AI startup. By the way, if you wanna see exactly what I'm doing and watch me step by step reveal all the steps I'm doing, all the steps I'm taking, then again, it's in the new society, in the classroom. You simply click on Start your AI startup, and in there you'll find daily reports, progress reports from my journey of building my AI startup. Anyways, let's go back to Cursor, then click on Open a folder. All right, so here I have an empty folder. Let's select it, boom. Now, as you can see, there's 0 files, nothing. So I'm gonna create a new file, right click, new file, main.py. Let's go back to the GitHub and follow the instructions OpenAI tells us. Again, this is my first time using the framework, so you'll see me fail, you'll see me make mistakes, and you'll learn from them. But I'm getting to you, this is not a crazy thing. You can do this even if you have lack of time, even if this is your first time building agents. Install requires Python 3, 10 plus 11. So we need to set up our environment. I'm going to be using Conda. So let's do Anaconda prompt. By the way, you might be thinking like, oh my God, David, I don't know how to use Conda. I don't know how to use Cursor. Don't worry. I have all of these tutorials inside of the new society. There is a really 50-minute plus advanced Cursor tutorial. And honestly, just this single module is worth joining new society for. So again, it's the first link in the description. Anyways, let's jump into Anaconda prompt and let's create a new Conda environment. Conda create -n. I'm going to name it Swarm. And let's do Python equals 3.11. As they said on the GitHub, we need at least 3.10 plus, so 3.11 should do. Enter, and if you're like, oh my God, David, I don't know how to create a new Conda environment, well, this is exactly why I use Cursor. In Cursor, you can do Control L or Command L and ask chat, right? How do I create new Conda env? And it will tell you the command. Conda create name, boom, this is your name, Python 3.8, or whatever version of Python you want to be using. So, okay, we have created the new environment. Let's now activate it. Conda activate Swarm. Then I'm gonna copy these pip installs. Okay, let's do this. Copy, paste. And actually inside of Cursor, as it's showing an error, select your interpreter. We can select Python interpreter and we can select our new one, Swarm, right here. Boom. Let's just put in a comment right here. So now if we go in here, these are all the packages, right? Pydantic, Yarl, distro. So this is, you don't have to worry about this because with one line, this single line, OpenAI already installs everything we need, all dependencies we need, usually stored in a requirements.txt file. So now that we've selected the environment inside of Cursor, which by the way, Cursor is built on top of VS Code. So if you've used VS Code before, it'll be super familiar. But the beauty about Cursor is that you can literally speak to it in plain English, right? So we can just start copy pasting stuff from the usage, right? So let's not reinvent the wheel. Let's follow GitHub. This is why you should always look up documentation and GitHubs. It is not for programmers. It is exactly for the beginners. It tells you what to do. You can just copy paste code from the developers. So this is why documentation and following the README files is important. So we can just get started. From Swarm, import Swarm. And actually we can tell Cursor to add explanatory comments, right? So you can Control X, add an explanatory comment above, so that, you know, let's say you don't know anything about programming and you want to understand what the code does, Cursor will let you do that. So import necessary classes from Swarm simulation. Yeah, let's change that to from OpenAI Swarm. All right, let's go next. Now we define the client. All right, boom. And then I'm going to start writing a comment, initialize the Swarm client. Beautiful. So this is another thing about Cursor. You start writing anything and it already predicts what you wanted to say. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a sales agent. Let's first try this simple example, and then we will build sales team of agents that you can, all of you, if you have a website or if you want to sell it to a client, you can do that. Okay, so let's add a comment on here. Define a function to transfer, yes. So now we can just copy both of these agents. So this is the test demo. Right after this, I'll build a proper one. Maybe we can rename it to, let's rename this to test.py. All right, so here we define our first AI agent. It's named Agent A. His name is Agent A. So it's super simple. Literally, you give it a name. This is instructions, also known as the system prompt. You are a helpful agent. Again, just a demo from OpenAI. They didn't do anything crazy. And this is how you do the functions, right? So here, this is the function, we also known as a tool, where it has the ability to delegate to Agent B. Agent B is a super simple agent that can only speak in haikus. So if you don't know haiku, it's just a short poem, basically. So again, this is a demo from OpenAI. So to keep it, to show you how easy it is to use the framework. Next, you'll build something practical that you can use in your business or sell for real money. All right, so then once we define the agents, we need to run a response. Again, super insanely simple. So now response equals client.run. So as you can see, this is the very similar syntax to OpenAI chat completions API. And then we see which agent we want the response from, right? So we do agent A. So we're not calling agent B. That's up to agent A. So agent A decides if it's good to call agent B. So now in our prompt, we say, I want to talk to agent B. So obviously super explicit, but agent A will delegate it to agent B. Actually, let's change it a bit, right? So agent B could be, I explain everything in, let's do like 1700 English. Okay, something like this. And then I want to talk to agent B, have him explain LLMs. Okay, this should be interesting actually. Let's run it. Save, Control S and run. And we have a nice error. What is this? Oh, we don't have the OpenAI API key. Amazing. So something obvious, but I forgot it. So let's go to platform.openai.com/API keys. If you don't have your account, simply use the same one as you have in ChatGPT. So on the top right, you should be logged in. Then once you log in, it takes 20 seconds, super easy. You click on the left, API keys. Again, platform. I'll leave the link to this in the description. Create a new secret key. Let's name it New Society. Create secret key. Copy. Let's create a new file. Let's name it .env. And now we need to name it exactly OpenAI API key. This Cursor is already helping us with that. And now we replace the syntax with just the new API key. So now when I save this, by the way, do not share your API keys with anybody. I will delete mine before uploading the video. Now we can run it again. Let's run it. And we don't get the error, which is good, meaning our agents are working. So this is explanation of LLM in 1700 English. Oh, thou wishes to converse with mine humble self regarding those metaphysical constructs known as large language models. Thus, though, so you get the point, right? So it works. Maybe we should. One thing we could do about Cursor is go to the composer section also Control I, you can pull it up and say add more debug print statements so that we know what's happening. Don't overdo it though. And the reason I want to do this is because we only waited, like when we ran the program, we just waited until we got the response, right? So that's kinda long. Okay, so I think this is good. We can just accept all, and then we can rerun it, and we will get way more. So swarm client initiated, engine are created, starting conversation with agent B. Yeah, so we're getting the inputs before we get the final response. I like that. Now we can actually have it create a new file, and this is going to be okay. So let's use the power of cursor. This is why, again, I love cursor. If you want to dive more into it, check out the advanced tutorial we have in the New Society. So this is what you can do, right? You can tell it now create a new Python file, use the exact same syntax as we have in, and I'm gonna tag test.py, but leave the agents empty. Create 4 different agents, 4 different agents. I think that's good. Only keep the most useful debug print statements. Again, make sure to use the exact same formatting as test.py. Enter, and cursor can not only write your code, it can also create files, and it has access to your entire code base. So you don't have to copy paste stuff. It knows what's in your files. So we name it okay, so new agents, let's accept it. Maybe let's rename this to, let's do sales agents, okay. So what I want to do is I want to build a team of sales agents that you can put into website, and maybe let's describe it. I'm going to say, good job. My goal is to build a sales team of agents that any business can put into their website or sell this to other companies. The team should have a manager agent, a lead qualifier, an objection handling agent, a closer agent, and researcher agent that can perform web search, okay? Your task is to update, and I'm going to tag it again, salesagents.py, file, changing the names and instructions of our agents, and creating, okay, so we didn't have the, okay, the one thing that it didn't copy over is this function, right? And just like in, let's do test.py, we need to have a transfer function that lets the manager delegate tasks to the other agents. So again, I'm just typing in plain English, and cursor is going to build out for me because now it understands the syntax. So the reason why we had to copy paste this example is because cursor uses Sonnet 3.5 by default, which is an LLM. I think it's one of the best LLMs for programming right now, if not the best. The issue is that it uses the data from the training data, and this is a super new thing. It's not in the training data. That's the issue with new releases, new frameworks, new AI tools. So it definitely doesn't have knowledge of OpenAI Swarm. Now cursor does have a web search feature, but it's not that great. So it's much better to just copy paste the syntax and tell it to follow that. Okay, so let's review the changes. Let's go to our sales agents again. Accept, transfer to qualifier, transferring to, okay. So we have these different functions: transfer to qualifier, transfer to objection handler, transfer to closer, transfer to researcher. So we have 4 agents on top of the manager. So 5 different agents, right? Okay, okay, I'm gonna select the entire code and say add a few comments separating the different sections from each other so it's nicely organized. And I'm going to also say do not overdo it, because LLMs have a tendency to try to impress you and, you know, try to do everything in a single shot. So this is good. I like this. So again, at the start is we just import necessary modules, nothing changes. Then we initialize the client and print out the update message. Then we have the transfer functions. So this is super simple. It basically calls the agent that it wants to transfer, right? So here it's transfer to qualifier. It calls the lead qualifier agent. So whoever uses this, we know it will be the manager. Whoever uses this will just have the power to call on this agent. All right, so this is pretty simpler. Now with the agent definitions, enter this out. Agent definition. So manager, this is the most important agent. And actually, one thing I'm curious about how to use LLMs. LLM, model override. An optional string to override model being. Oh, okay. An optional string. So which model is it using by default? GPT model. The model used by the agent. Default GPT 4.0. That's good. That's good. Let's see. Maybe we can use. Let's customize this a bit, right? So we have name, instructions. Yeah. So we can play around with this actually. Name. Let's do model. And currently suggesting GPT 4.0 mini for the manager. You oversee. For manager actually might be enough. GPT 4.0 mini is like all it has to do is delegate to the proper agent, right? It doesn't have to be crazy. So this one actually can be cheap. It can be a small model. Now here, tab. Cursor is telling us to go to the lead qualifier. Here maybe we can actually use O1 mini, right? O1 mini, because we need a bunch of reasoning here. Objection handler, this is also important. O1 mini will be good. It's a reasoning model, so we can do a lot more thinking. We need a lot more brain power. Then we have a closer agent. This is to finalize the sale. O1 mini is definitely a good idea here. And the researcher, we don't need that much power. Here we can just probably use GPT 4.0, not mini, just 4.0. So this one, by the way, needs a function web search. But I don't know if we can do it by itself. Wait, let me test it out. Because I think I've read that they have web searching by default. Seems like they don't have that ability. Interesting. So we need to give it web search. So we can actually create a new function for this. Or maybe, wait, maybe it's Stavili. Let's do stavili.com. They have a great free plan. So let's use this API. So this is, for those people like, oh my God, I can't just do it with ChatGPT. No, you can't. Because you cannot give ChatGPT custom tools, custom functions, and have it execute actions on your behalf. This is why you need to build agents, because you can do anything with agents. Like, it's only up to your imagination and how far you're willing to go. So tabili.com, again, link in the description. Let's go to the dashboard. Let's look at the pricing. They have a great free plan. 1,000 API calls monthly for free. I mean, wow, really good free plan. All right, once you log in, again, took me literally 5 seconds, 10 seconds. Just use Google. Click on API keys plus. Let's name it. Let's do a new society again. By the way, all of this code and all of my other codes is available in the new society. So if you click on classroom and templates and presets, I will put in all of this code and the prompts will be in the new society, just like my other AI agents I've built in the past, useful GPTs I've made, my code, prompts, instructions, list of my subscriptions, and all of that is available in the new society, right in the templates and presets tab. So again, first link in the description. So let's name this new society. Let's create, copy Tavili API key. So yeah, let's go into our env file, Tavili API key equals Control V. Okay, save, beautiful. Now let's just copy paste all of this. And I'm gonna say, let's go into sales agents, use the composer feature. I'm gonna paste this inside. I'm gonna say above is the official Tavili API documentation. Your task is to implement a simple web search function into, and we're going to tag our file salesagent.py that uses Tavili API. Make sure to link our API key from .env. Follow the exact syntax mentioned above in their official docs. Sometimes Sonnet hallucinates, so it's good to repeat this prompt. Let's see how it executes this function. So boom, from Tavili import Tavili client. Then it wants to import OS to load the API key. It says load env variables. Then it says, it wants to initialize. Okay, so let's accept these. Then it wants to initialize Tavili client. So Tavili client equals Tavili client API key equals os.get env Tavili API key. So this will get our environment a variable and extract the API key from there. Then this is the function. This is how you define functions in Python. Web search query, performing a web search query for query, and it should give, yeah, it gave our researcher. So this is amazing, right? You didn't have to think about this. Cursor took care of that for us. It literally knew that, okay, I need to give the researcher the function, and I also need to update the conversation, the prompt. I mean, wow, amazing. If you're a beginner, you have to use, I mean, AI tools will just help you so much. It's really amazing, truly amazing. Okay, one thing we forgot is we completely skipped this step, right? So this is why you should read the docs. Is we need to install the Tavily API. So let's copy that. You know what? Let's go into Cursor, Control J. You can open the terminal and let's install that. Nice. Delete that. So we've installed Tavily. So this should no longer be underlined. Hopefully, yeah. Boom. Okay. So we also need to install .env. So what I can say is that, you know, I can, I know what to do, but let's assume I don't know what to do. You can literally highlight it, go into chat and say, this line is highlighted. Why and how do I fix it? Super beginner prompt. And it tells you what to do in the install the Python package. So copy, boom, again, terminal, new terminal, and I'm going to Control V what it told me. I'm going to install python-.env, and now it's good. And now it should disappear in any second now. There it is. So, okay, what I'm gonna ask the composer one more thing. The new web search function is accepting a query parameter. However, in our code, we don't pass it that. Fix this. So we would have figured this out by testing, but I just see the error, so I pointed out. Basically, nowhere we, you know, when we call the web search, we don't pass it the prompt. So you perform web searches and then web search query. I think this is a mistake. You know what? Let's reject all of these. Let's just test it out, right? So these prompts could be optimized, but that's not the case. That's not my worry. I want to test out whether the Tavily API works. So this is the user prompt. I'm gonna say, okay, let's create a new composer. Change the code in Sales Agent API to ask the user for the prompt, not hard coded. Do not change anything else. This is a simple change. I don't want it to rewrite system prompts and all that. So again, user prompt equals input, enter your prompt for the sales manager. Boom. Okay, save. That's good. And let's run it. Let's test it. Test. So now I want to test out specifically if the Tavily API works. So I'm going to say, I need you to browse the web for the latest info about Starship SpaceX launch. Okay, it's transferring to researcher, performing web search for latest information on SpaceX launch. Okay, wait, is this actually good? Launch details, drift off. Wait, I think it actually works. That's crazy. Let's go again. Let's try something else. Tell me about the new OpenAI Swarm project that just launched. Yeah, okay, so it didn't know to call on the researcher. It wasn't explicit. Okay, maybe we can update the system prompt for the manager. Okay, so I'm gonna highlight, you know what, let's highlight this. I'm gonna say, make the instructions a multi-line string. Okay, again, I'm coding with plain English here. Accept. Then I'm gonna highlight it again. And I'll say, let's make the instructions more thorough, telling it that if it doesn't know how to answer, it should call on the researcher agent. Pretty good, pretty good. Let's accept that. Let's run again. I'm gonna say, tell me about the new OpenAI Swarm project on GitHub. Let's be specific. On GitHub. Transferring to researcher, performing web search, OpenAI Swarm project GitHub. Nice. Very nice. Boom. Okay, let's see. OpenAI Swarm project is an education framework designed to facilitate multi-agent orchestration. So amazing. It works. It actually works. Wow, I'm shocked. This is very simple to implement function calling. Honestly, this might be my favorite AI agent framework so far, and that is saying a lot. This might be, I think I prefer this over CrewAI, over Agency Swarm, over AutoGen. I mean, it's so simple to use, it's crazy. Literally name, then you can do model or you don't have to. And then, okay. So, you know what? Let's have some fun with this. Let's have some fun with this. Let's write these prompts. Okay, manager. All right, let's update the knowledge of the manager. Update in the instructions. Clearly explain which agents the manager has access to. Tell it explicitly to always call on one of the agents. And clearly explain what each agent does and is good for. Alright, so now we're gonna improve this and we're gonna make it actually useful so you guys, you can, if you have a business, you can use this in your websites, or you can sell this to businesses who need these sales agents, which, I mean, it's gonna be almost every business, honestly. Okay, much better, much better. Now, let's use Perplexity to figure out what makes a great lead qualifier. So, what makes a great lead qualifier? What does one need to properly qualify leads in their business? What are the most common ways to disqualify leads in business? How do you qualify potential clients that are chatting with you via text? Different prompts. Let's see how this is. Perplexity, by the way, is almost, I mean, it's a team of agents at this point. Look at this. Pro search, boom, boom, boom. It lays out the steps, and then each agent searches for something else. Perplexity is really crazy. Yeah, it's great. If you're not paying for it, what are you doing? Okay. Now we get this info. So you might be thinking like, David, oh, why are we doing this search? Well, I'm doing this search because I don't know all this stuff. You know, I'm not an expert in qualifying leads. So I'm going to copy this. We can actually click on copy here. Going back into cursor, and I'm going to highlight our lead qualifier. I'm going to do Control K, edit. I will say, update the, I'm going to paste this in. I'm going to give it, okay, above is research on how to properly qualify leads in business. Using that information, rewrite the instructions of this agent to be a lot more thorough, explicit, and professional. Spelling mistakes left and right, it's kind of funny. Use multi-line strings. Boom, enter. So again, you can use AI to write your system prompts for you. Boom. This is like, I myself probably couldn't write a custom prompt this good. So that's why you're doing the web search. Same for this, right? I'm gonna, actually, you know what? I'm gonna do a life hack even more. Let's do like Inception. This is gonna be AI Inception. Let's open up Claude. Boom. I'm gonna say, rewrite the following web search prompt to make it relevant for objection handling in sales through text. Boom. Amazing. Now let's copy this. Let's go into Perplexity. And let's ask these questions related to our objection handler agent. We're going to get super thorough research on this, which we're going to use in the system prompt. Now this is how you build a solid team of agents. Oh, this is really nice. This is going specific, like price objections, lack of need, trust issues, timing. Oh my god, this response is thorough. Wow. Okay, let's copy. I'm gonna do the same thing here. Control K. Using the above mentioned info, rewrite the instructions of this agent and make them a lot more thorough and explicit. Use multi-line string. Boom. Seeing the agent work is like magic. Never ceases to amaze me. All right, so this is 12-step amazing. Amazing. Respond promptly to maintain engagement. Use the customer's name. Keep it clear. Always acknowledge validate customer. This is like sales mastery 101. Like, actually, I'm about to learn something. Yeah, that's great. Closer agent. Okay. You know what? Maybe we can use actually Hormozy's closer framework. So let's open up a new Perplexity. Research about Alex Hormozy's closer framework. What it is, how to do it, how to follow it via text, and everything else you can find about it. Obviously, Hormozy knows a thing or two about sales, so why not just use one of the best salesmen in the world, and let's put his framework into our team of agents. So C is for clarify, L is for labeling, O for overview, S self-deprecation, E explain away concerns, R reinforce. Some of this is like concern handling would be handled obviously by our other agent, but this is just this, closer. The closer should have knowledge of this. So I'm gonna again Control K, boom. Using the above mentioned info, rewrite. Maybe I could be using the composer, so I'm not repeating myself. Rewrite the instructions of this agent to make them a lot more thorough and explicit. Use multi-line string. There it goes. Accept. And researcher, honestly, we can probably keep it simple for researcher. There is nothing crazy on here. Maybe let's do rewrite the instructions. Okay, make the instructions into a multi-line string and rewrite them so that they reflect the MO of world-class web researchers. Submit. Okay, that's good enough. Definitely improvement, right? And let's see. So here's our user prompt. That's pretty solid. What else? The manager is, it's pretty good. We've massively, this is actually a really good way to improve prompts. Maybe my favorite way right now. I'm gonna call it the AI inception. Just, using AI into AI to improve, to build your team of agents. So now with 106 lines of code, again, you don't have to build this yourself. You can if you want. Everything is shown in this video, but you can access all of my AI agents I've built in the past and all agents I will build into the future in the new society, in templates and presets section, right here under AI agents by David. I'll upload it right here or at the bottom. Okay, let's run it. I can't wait to test this. Run, enter your prompt for the sales agent. So now, keep in mind, this would be embedded on your website, right? So a new customer comes in, it's like, let's role play this for my service. Like, I'm interested in joining the new society. However, I don't have, okay, maybe say I'm not sure if it's for me because I don't have much time to implement the AI, the exclusive AI content inside of it. Boom. So again, if I was sending the link on my website, okay, wait, where's the error? Oh, the O1 model doesn't support function calling. Oh my God. Whatever, that doesn't matter. So I'm gonna go into Composer, I can create a new one, say, make sure all of our agents are using the GPT-4o model. I think this is actually the default one, but whatever. I want it to be fancy by using O1, but it doesn't support function calling. Unfortunate. Let's accept that. So now all of our agents, except for the manager, which actually can use O1 mini, because it doesn't do anything, it just delegates. So this doesn't, we can save some costs over here, but let's run it. Let's run the exact same prompt. I'm interested in joining society, blah, blah, blah. Enter. Transferring to lead qualifier. Okay. So now, lead qualifier. Final response, thank you for interest, blah, blah, blah. We need to improve it, right? So we need to tell it to be super concise. I'm gonna say, update the instructions so that we tell the agent to be super concise in its responses. Almost as if it was chatting with someone through text, like WhatsApp. Mention this at least twice. This is another prompt engineering tip. If something is important enough, you should repeat it at the start, in the middle, and at the end of your instructions. Do not remove the original system. Just add this new instruction to it. I don't want it to undo the work that we built with Perplexity. So let's accept this, save. Okay, I'm actually kind of confused. Let's highlight only this part of the code that we want to change. Close the researcher. Boom. Control K. I'm gonna say this exact message. You know what? Let's just do it manually. Remember to be super concise. Almost if you're chatting sound. Yeah, let's just add this manually. Boom. Cursor already knows what was going on. Yes, sir. Cursor is learning. Cursor is amazing. Honestly, I've underestimated the power of tab. You can just press tab and it predicts your behavior. It's pretty mind-blowing actually. So now it should be a lot more like texting, right? So let's do a different objection, right? Let's do I want to buy new society, but I need a bit more info about what AI agents can do for my business, which is, let's say, travel agency, from LA. Okay. So now it should hopefully call the researcher. Yes. Final response. Wait, what happened? Why didn't it loop back and give me the... Oh my god. Okay, I know what happened. We need to update this. Okay. Explicitly tell the agent in the instructions to always browse the web, no matter what the user query is. Mention this at least twice. I want to buy the trousers, but I don't know which size to go with because it's all in American sizing and I'm from Europe. Okay, let's see how this goes. Objection handler, final response. Hey there, I totally get the confusion. What's your usual size in European measurements? I can help you find the right US size. Just let me know. And now this should, okay. We need to make one more change. This needs to be a continuous loop. So let's go into the composer. We need to make one small change in sales agent PY. Make it so that we are in a continual while loop. Oh, okay, continuous while loop until the continuous while loop where the manager keeps receiving texts from the user and keeps calling the correct agents to handle them until the customer is ready to buy. Then the manager calls a new custom function, which you have to code, by the way, that will end the while loop by doing one last cycle. Implement this in the simplest way possible. Again, that last prompt is really good because AI models have tendencies to overcomplicate and, you know, try way too hard, okay? So we should have a new end conversation function. Ending conversation, customer is ready to buy. Objection handler, okay, so that's good. Ending conversation, return true. Let's approve this, this as well, and instead of this, we're gonna have this while loop, while true. User prompt equals prompt, enter your message, response equals client.run, agent manager, and then user prompt, print manager response, if any, end conversation for function. Well, actually, you know what? The while loop should be infinite, because if the customer is ready to buy, he'll just stop texting. So the while loop should actually be infinite. So our solution is actually super simple. I'm gonna say, actually, make the while loop infinite. Because when potential customers are chatting with an AI agent on a website, they should always get a response. Kind of simplifies things for us. So let's do that. Oh, I did it in the chat section. Let's prove this. Accept. Now let's try again. This is again testing. Browse the web for USD to check conversion rate. And it still keeps going, so it's amazing. Okay. Then let's try it, right? So let's say we're at a travel agency website. I really like the... By the way, if you actually implemented this to your website, you can change the prompts and you can add it, you know, custom knowledge, custom data, like PDFs, docs, whatever, so that it has more knowledge about your product and your service, right? So right now it's generic, so that any of you can take it and implement this, either for yourself or for other businesses for profit. I really like the hoodie you guys sell, but I don't know if it's high quality materials. Objection handler, let's see. Hi, glad you like the hoodie. Totally get your quality concern. A hoodie are crafted from premium cotton blends. So now it's hallucinating because it doesn't have the details, but this is good. Many customers rave about them. Want more info? Yes, please. Oh, okay, so it doesn't know to follow up with the manager. Okay, so yeah, here we would have to add a way to manage context. In other words, we would have to save the states. Maybe something like Assistance API would be more suited for this. Yeah, so okay, this might not be the best for a loop situation then. Endless loop, it might be better for like one-off thing, right? So you type in an agent, then you have like a manager that decides what to do, and then each of the agents actually do it. Maybe we should have I should have done this. I should have looked at the examples. Again, the GitHub is going to be linked below, but OpenAI included a bunch of examples here. So airline, let's look at the airline one. Demonstrate multi-agent setup for handling different customer service requests in an airline context. So this is very similar, except for sales, it's customer service. Agent can triage requests, handling multiple, okay, blah, blah, blah. Run demo loop. Wow, why didn't I do this? Run demo loop. Worm.repl, run demo loop. Jesus, man. Okay, so, wow. Okay, never mind, guys. There's a better way to do this. So if you want to do a loop, you should import the run demo loop from Swarm REPL. And then you just do run demo loop, triage agent, context variables equals context variables, debug equals true. And then, so now it can keep the context from previous messages. Okay, so I guess that solves the problem. But yeah, I'm gonna leave the GitHub below so you can go through these examples, because they have like what, 8 different examples over here from OpenAI. Maybe we should have started from these. So yeah, but what's good is that you can also implement these in your code. So again, if you want access to my previous agents and all the code from this video, and if you want to know how to use Cursor, which we've used throughout the entire video, make sure to join the new society. Inside, you'll learn how to make money with AI agents, how to build your first AI agent from scratch, even if you've never coded before, step by step. It's the first link in the description, and we have a 14-day money-back guarantee. So if you don't get any value, I will personally send you the money back. Again, first link in the description. Make sure to join now. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful rest of the day.